Gillette Stadium continues to be a house of horrors for Toronto FC, as they fall 3-2 to the New England Revolution. The result was probably flattering to TFC, who went down early and afforded a number of clear chances to the home side. Crisitian Pinilla scored a brace in the first 7 minutes to give the Revs a lead that they would never give up. Teal Bunbury added another early in the second half. Toronto came close after an own goal from Antonio Delamea, and a penalty from Sebastian Giovinco. Moments after pulling the Reds within one, however, Giovinco was sent off and may well miss more than next Friday's game against Orlando City. To sum it up, not good. 90 feet VAR strikes again. Seba is sent off for putting his hands to the face of a New England player who tried to swat the ball away from him on his way back from the net. He is unhappy, clearly. 89 feet Giovinco steps up and scores even though Turner goes the right way. It's 3-2. 87 feet penalty to Toronto. Foxborough comes in from behind to take the ball away from Chris Tierney and is taken down in the box. 64 feet Giovinco skips past New England defenders and crosses in for Chapman, but somehow the Canadian puts the ball well over the crossbar. Toronto is threatening at least, but if they want a chance in this game they need to convert those. 60 feet Seba is on and so is Mavinga, meaning Bradley can move up into the midfield. At the very least it is good to see Mavinga back in the lineup. Toronto has missed him a lot. 55 feet New England score again, but this time it is on their own net. Delgado finds Jay Chapman, who slips a ball across looking for Jordan Hamilton, but Delamea puts the ball into the back of his own net. 2-1 and maybe a tiny bit of hope for Toronto. 47 feet we are officially in crap show territory. The Red Sea parts again and the ball finds its way into the back of the net from Teal Bunbury. Of all the people to score, this might get a lot worse. The less said about that half the better. The Reds got down early and now will have a big hole to dig themselves out of in the second half. Greg Vanney could definitely use with shuffling up the formation a bit in the second half. Perhaps the 4-4-2 isn't working very well right now. 37 feet Toronto looks tired here, which is something we've seen a lot lately. Generally easy passes are turning into turnovers, and after a decent spell Toronto is having problems keeping any sort of shape in tempo. 31 feet Toronto FC looking a little bit better now, as if it could get any worse. Toronto creating some chances, but Turner has been huge in the New England net. A goal before halftime would make this a game, but the Reds still look very vulnerable on the counter-attack. 7 feet another bad giveaway from Maketex and Pinilla strikes again. 2-0 the Revolution and Toronto FC are in all kinds of trouble here early. The short-handed Reds are not at all dealing well with the New England press. 4 feet did not take Toronto FC long for Toronto FC to put themselves behind the 8-ball. A giveaway in the midfield from Bradley, compounded by bad movement from Ajira Caxte, gives the ball away. It's 1-0 Revolution through Crisitian Pinilla. The lineups are now out and it is not looking great for Toronto FC's injury issues. Greg van der Wiel has been held out as a precaution for injuries that he has been dealing with of late, while Sebastian Giovinco and Victor Vasquez take a seat on the bench, likely to give them as limited exposure as possible to the turf. The New England Revolution vs. Toronto FC at Gillette Stadium is a fixture that's often overlooked, or written off as a likely victory for the home side. All-time, TFC have won just twice in Foxborough, losing 10 times. Last season, they lost 3-0 and 2-1 to the Revs. Whether it's the turf, the Revolution's attacking play, or bad voodoo, Toronto FC have never fared particularly well in Massachusetts. Just ask Danny Evermans, one of the turf's many victims over the year. Goodness knows the Reds certainly don't need any more injuries. The list is already stupidly long: Josie Altidore, Victor Vasquez, potentially, Nicholas Hasslier, Nick Hagland, Eric Zavaleta, Chris Mavinga, Drew Moore and Justin Morrow. But tonight would definitely be a good time to get over their yips at Gillette Stadium. The Reds still have just 2 MLS wins to their name, after losing 2-1 at home to the Seattle Sounders on Wednesday. Every loss makes things a little more tricky as far as playoffs go. The Reds could sure use a win to rally around right now, and away from home in a venue that has almost always given them issues would be a perfect place to start. Team news: injuries. Josie Altidore, Nicholas Hasslier, Justin Morrow, Drew Moore, Nick Hagland, and Eric Zavaleta seem to still be ruled out, but a couple of the defenders have been training recently, so they may be nearing return. Chris Mavinga apparently traveled to New England, so he may play a part, but unlikely a large one. Victor Vasquez felt better on Thursday after leaving the match on Wednesday, and his injury doesn't seem serious, so he may be available as well. New England Revolution midfielder Isaac Anking has been ruled out with illness, per MLSsoccer.com. Forward Juan Agudelo is listed as questionable with a hamstring injury. Greg Vanney seemed to suggest he doesn't expect to be playing against Agudelo. How to watch match date, time, Saturday, May 12, 7:30 p.m. TV channel, TSN 4.